Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday, October 13th, and you know it's your lucky day because it's the 13th, and I'm actually here for a change. Kind of. Somewhat. Lou, why am I here?
To espouse all your wisdom.
I have wisdom?
Yeah.
Which wisdom is that?
Oh, well, you're traveling the country right now, so you get to tell us how people's expressions look on their
Yeah.
faces.
Well,
What
I
gas,
haven't,
what
I
gas
haven't.
prices are? What are gas prices?
Oh, gas prices are kind of ridiculous here.
What's
They're,
are they
well,
$4?
yeah, it's pretty much $4. I got to buy, the premium or whatever, because once you go down that road of premium, you really shouldn't switch it up.
All the fucking liberal people that bought the electric cars are all like, yeah, suck it, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, gas was pretty cheap in Texas, and then kind of moving up the Mississippi River. But once you get on this side of things, not so much apparently. So that's kind of disappointing. But the nice thing about all the travels is that I haven't been told to put a mask on once. So
Oh,
you know,
that is nice. It
it's
seems like
nice.
that
Well,
the tide's changing.
well, look, I even had one. I had my little graphene infused, happy go lucky face diaper here, but I haven't had to use it. Because I don't really want to like get into a fight over this crap or anything.
Are,
So I put
are you
it in
going?
my pocket. But
Do you have like a message on your mask?
no, I'm pretty sure I just carry the message in my eyes most of the time.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah,
Well, Sean, while you were gone,
yeah. What happened while I was gone?
football player got or no, football coach got fired.
You act like I don't pay attention to the show. You want to talk about Gruden? That's all you got? It's fucking Gruden.
I was just gonna mention a few things. I was also gonna say Kyrie Irving is no longer able to play basketball. Yeah, just throwing some things
Yeah,
out there. We
yeah.
both wearing sports hats, so I figured maybe sports.
Well, it was interesting. It was interesting. The Newsmax anchor that kind of he hosts this show, Wise Guys, and he was at that event, and he was really excited. Watching the Cowboys play the New York Giants. He's a New York guy. He's wearing his pinstripes. And where was I going with this? Oh, I was gonna say that I don't care about sports anymore. But what was interesting is that I did find myself actually enjoying watching that football game for a minute, just for the spectacle of it. And then this evening, I was sitting in the Applebee's over here, and I was watching the Penguins,
Right.
which was weird. I haven't even thought about hockey in so long. I mean, everything's so messed up. You guys want me to pay attention to sports?
It's weird. It is stranger and stranger, and these stories like the Gruden email one, and black people in America are coming in and bitching about it, and they have these opinions that they're forced to have, and I'm like, what about Hillary Clinton's emails? Why not the same aggression? Why
We
not the
don't we don't
same?
care about Hillary Clinton's emails, and actually today is the 1 year anniversary of the story about Hunter Biden's laptop breaking in the New York Post.
Where's all that information?
Okay, conscientious people like ourselves and like our wonderful viewers here, they care about these stories, but the mainstream corporate media exists to quash this as much as possible because they're paid to do so.
Right.
So,
I
again,
tried to explain that.
when you sit here and you say, "Where is this? Why aren't they reporting on this? Why aren't they doing?" I don't know. These are the same people that talk about how there's no evidence for election fraud. So,
Without investigating it. You're
yeah,
right.
these are the same people that say that the vaccine is completely safe and effective. If you got that clip available? Thad always said it best. Something about fucking with the period flow.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, now moving on.
Oh
If you
damn.
find it and you can click it
Oh,
quickly, but come on, Lou, get it together. Yeah, this is the same structure that just continuously lies to everyone. So
The vaccines
it's
have been
really
proven
not
to be
all that
safe and effective,
surprising.
even if they fuck with your period flow and
I
they may swell
did.
your balls. Okay, now
I did get kind of a report. as we say, I put my hands up and I say it hasn't been verified, right? It hasn't been verified. But I was working with a lead to speak with a flight surgeon from the Air Force who has suggested grounding all the pilots because there has been an uptick in plane crashes lately. I'm not sure if you saw that in the news either. Probably just like, the same reason why you didn't see the 63% increase in deaths amongst teenage boys in the United Kingdom since they introduced the vaccine. Now, correlation is not causation, I understand, but come on.
Yeah. But it's always little stories like where there's this teenager, the youngest teenager that supposedly died of COVID. That was the headline: is the youngest teenager dies of COVID. And then in the article it says he has a lot of underlying medical issues, and then the family comes out and says no, he was diagnosed with fucking cancer. He died of cancer. We didn't know he had COVID until he was about to die.
Wait. So we're still playing that game where we're like, okay, died with COVID, died of COVID. But see, now it's even further complicated because when you throw the shot into the mix,
Yeah.
what do we call it? Orange man juice?
Yeah. Well, that's where the derangement definitely is there, but that's where the CDC comes in, and they're the experts, but they swiftly define being unvaccinated now means 2 weeks after
right.
your
Which yeah, I mean, you keep hammering on that, and it's only fair to keep hammering on that as this thing moves along. But I don't know, Lou. It's really getting to the point where it just doesn't matter. There's nothing you can say to convince these people otherwise. They're severely brainwashed at this point.
They're lost. Brand's COVIDians. All the like of them.
Yeah.
So what do you say, right? Again, my thing that I keep going back to is we are having this pitch battle for the freedom of mankind on a very small strip of land, in the sense that like this doesn't infect and kill a lot of people in the grand scheme of things. But the entire all of society, the global supply chain, the economic system, wars that will be fought in the future, were all because of this one catalyst. This one catalyst that ultimately doesn't kill nearly, or pathogen that doesn't kill nearly as many people as we were sold in the beginning. We're fighting over 1.8% case fatality rate.
Right, and that's a good point to bring up, is when that London school of whatever the fuck that scared the shit out of everybody, it literally said that if we don't take the 15 days to flatten the curve, we're going to end up losing 10 million people.
Well, yeah, I mean, those numbers were kind of scary when this thing started. But again, we're very far away from that. Now we're to the point where the scariest thing we have to deal with is the fact that our military is in complete shambles. I saw a number, and I'm not sure about the accuracy of it, but somewhere along the way that only 40% of those in the armed forces had elected to take the jab and were fully vaccinated at this point. But there has been an uptick in deaths there as well. And I think at the end of the year, when all the numbers are compiled, we're going to see that there was an increase of deaths in 2021. We didn't see an increase of deaths in 2020, but we will see it in 2021.
Yeah,
and then it will be even worse, moving into 2022 as this shot continues to wreak havoc on the immune systems of those who've taken it.
Well, then the food shortages should kick in around 2023, where the death will just start to roll on. Because y'all are a part of a death cult. The people that believe in all this shit and want to justify all this compliance and all this shit, y'all are part of a death cult. Period.
Well, yeah, I think we're seeing that right now. I mean, there was already reports of shortages, back home in the Walmart. Walmart had taken a big hit. They were trying to scramble to figure out how they were going to continue to stock their shelves. I know that when I was down on the Gulf, I never saw it with my own eyes because Airbnb fucked me over. but they made it right. So
Okay, never mind. Then.
I just want to
take
kind
back the
of
fuck those guys.
no, I mean it's a bit of fuck those, more like fuck the host, but
Fuck the host.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
They sit there and they pester you. They're like, hey, do you want to give feedback? No, I really just want to move on with my life right now. But apparently, I was told that you could look out into the Gulf there by actually my moon's father. He said that you could look out into the Gulf and you could see that there were ships just piled out there. So, things are getting pretty screwed up. And, as we move into these colder months after Samhain, I think we're going to see it, really start to matter to people, whether or not they'll understand why. They'll still run around and they'll be like, well, it's because you would take your shot. Wear a mask.
If the first person who I talk to who says that the unvaccinated are the reasons why I can't find a Christmas tree or fucking, PlayStation 5, I'm a bitch slap the shit out of them and I'm going to jail.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, Thad, I don't know. Don't go to jail, man. Don't go to jail. Why? They ain't worth it, man.
Why is the price of computer parts astronomical as well? Like that's another thing. That seems like something they're trying to keep us away from.
May I? That has been going on. Here's the deal. That's been going on for well over a year and a half. There are a couple of reasons for that. First and foremost, like long before we ran into COVID-19 or the pandemic, as I affectionately like to call it.
I thought you guys discussed that last night. And you decided that Scamdemic was kind of a happy medium.
Yeah,
I'll get them.
You watched the show.
Yeah. So he did. But basically, what went on is all of our semiconductors, or at the very least, all of our semiconductors are manufactured in East Asia. East Asia had an issue, particularly Taiwan. Taiwan was not only dealing with the threats of China, they also had droughts. And so semiconductors require a lot of water. So over the last 30 years, what the brilliant our betters in Silicon Valley have done is they have done fabless semiconductor manufacturing, which is, they don't make chips. They design them and they send them off to whatever. There's only 2 companies in the world where you can actually buy the lithography equipment to even write the masks. This gets very, very complicated, but hear me out here. You run into these issues. There was mysterious fires on the island of Japan last year for some odd reason at key chip manufacturing facilities for not just computers, but for automobiles. And it's the supply chain is so rigid, and it's not as easy to reconfigure it and stuff like that. So the short answer is we are too reliant on Asia for our chip manufacturing. And not only is there about to probably be a fucking war over there, there's just more demand than there is supply, and there are not a lot of fabs are expensive, right? Like Intel actually building a fab in Arizona, which is weird because it's a very water intensive thing. I don't understand why they build these things in deserts, but there's a reason why you build them. They're expensive as fuck to build because it's extremely complicated to do. And there's only 2 companies that make lithography machines. One of them's in Europe and has a monopoly on the market. All this is to say, like, we were on a razor's edge when it came to our JIT, just-in-time supply chain. And all it took was like a drought in Taiwan, mysterious fires in Japan, and a scamdemic to basically shut down global supply chains. That's why you're running into chip shortages. And plus we put chips in everything now. That's another issue, right? You put chips in shit we ain't got no goddamn business putting chips in.
And
you bring up the mysterious fires that seem to happen everywhere.
Yeah.
And all these things that are going on. Thad, like at some point you've got to recognize you keep saying that there's going to be a war. Okay. Like I really, at some point, people need to wrap their heads around the fact that war is not fought the way it was fought in World War II. We're watching war, 21st century warfare happen right now. This is how it happens.
Yeah, it's a war on the people.
Look, one of the first things you do in warfare anyways is you try to affect the economy of your enemy. If you can shut down their manufacturing, their ability to produce and everything else, then you're steps ahead. You know, and again, if one is following the art of war, you want to win the war before shots are ever fired.
Yeah. The
Now,
question is, though, I mean, well, you go ahead, Lou, because I was just kind of ruminating on that a little bit. But
well,
you
no,
go
well,
ahead.
I was going to take it even further. I was going to ask, does the that missing Malaysia flight that had that technology that was a chip based technology, would that play any part in like why
I
was
have
that?
no idea where you're going with that.
Yeah, me neither. But it's all in the air. It's all up for grabs.
Does that
If
go
it-
back to the banks, Lou?
No. This is
No, 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 no,
I bet you it does. I bet
No,
you it
no,
does.
no, no.
How
The
you gonna say it doesn't go back to the banks when
I
you've
mean,
been
I'm
trying
sure.
to convince me for the last year and a half that everything does go back to the banks, and I've really kind of come around to your way of thinking, and now you're gonna say it doesn't go back to
No,
the
no,
banks?
no. What I
You
was
fucked
gonna-
up, motherfucker.
No. True, very valid. But no, what I was gonna say was yes, it does probably end up at the banks. But now I'm saying my little interjection of what that Malaysia flight was. I was just hoping Thad knew about what the technology was.
No, I didn't know anything about. All I know is that fucking flight just kind of vanished, and people thought it fell into a black hole for like 6 months. Come to find out, it just crashed. But
You know, speaking
people on
of
there were
getting
sharing-
interjected with Thad's technology, I'd like to remind everybody to go buy a Thad's glowy box.
oh
They
yeah,
go do it. Go buy it. It glows. It has something to do with Thad, and you can get it. And you go to the link that's in the description, hopefully, and
it'll get
we
there.
appreciate it.
No, we'd appreciate. I'd appreciate it, and and eventually, as a whole, hopefully, the American Council would appreciate it because it might fund our efforts in the future.
Yeah, there's no way
Moving
to
on.
fund our efforts. We're just definitely going bankrupt with the rest.
Yeah, we're
of
probably
you,
gonna go bankrupt. We can't write this
rock
off.
and roll. No, not at all.
All right. Anyway, but like you were saying, but no, I'd never heard anything about that. Only thing I heard about the Malaysia flight is like it just vanished, and like people were acting. Don Lemon was asking somebody if like it fell into a black hole or something stupid like that.
No. That
Don
flight,
Lemon is a fucking black hole.
he is, and I'm sure his asshole.
And that I don't
particularly
know,
to his spouse.
That sounds horrible, but I'm fucking saying it. Fucking Don Lemon.
Fucking guy. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I won't go down my conspiracy.
Guy's a piece of shit. No, go down that hole. Go down that black hole, Lou. Come on.
No, I'm still let me look it up then because like, what I was gonna say.
We've already crossed the event horizon, and Lou's falling into the black hole right now, going, "No, I'm being spaghettified."
No, well, I don't know. I just feel like they're taking. I don't know. They're just making everything seem so natural and organic. They're really good at what they do.
Oh, it's genius.
Oh man, the perfect psyop, right? No, I was going to staying in the region of Asia. I was just ruminating on the fact that, like, for those who tend to think, and there's a cadre of it's just basically anti-war types that think that like the rhetoric, the hawkishness toward China is unjustified because they're a falling empire from it. They're dealing with tons of internal strife, and they have this 10 times Lehman Brothers event that's about to happen between Evergrande and all this other stuff, and that they're just going to fall. It's like, what do you think a failing society, empire, and economy tends to do when it's failing?
Lash.
Right? You know where I'm going.
Make up bullshit and hope it sticks.
Make up bullshit, hope it sticks, and for the glory of the people and the reunification of the great nation of China, you run across the strait and you invade that island.
I'm just hoping that we get a reservation. I'm hoping. I keep reading the book, Brave New World, and that reservation looks so nice now. I remember reading it thinking initially just, oh man, crazy. Now it's just like, just give me that. If they gave us that, if they gave us a reservation where we could be savages, as they call us, that would be amazing.
Yeah, they're not going to do that, Lou.
No, you must be made to conform and to bend the knee.
Not even one little reservation that they can just study us?
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen, Lou. They've already studied us. What do you think Facebook was?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's it. Look, it's social networks over the last
they know everything
15
they need
years
to know.
Have been the greatest data mining exercise. The NSA looks at like Silicon Valley with great envy which is why they basically
They don't look at them with envy, Thad. They are them.
Well, now they are. They basically
it's not now they are.
they
It's not
basically
now they
populated
are.
those
You think they
companies
didn't know
with all their
these-
people.
Oh, this has been the slow creep of corporate fascism in this country ever since we decided it was a good idea to hire Nazis to do everything for us.
If you talk
They
to
get us to the moon, dog.
if you talk to
okay, maybe they
talk to-
got us to the moon. We're still waiting for that debate between Dr. Boom and Lou.
Yeah, and we're still waiting for that to have any effect or impact on our lives. But God dang it.
Well, they always try to sell it, and they say that all the space exploration and everything else has done all sorts of things in our lives. I'm not real sure what, but I remember reading some things.
Kool-Aid?
Time. Yeah, like Tang.
Yeah, something like that.
You're right. Yep, Tang.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? That's all.
And what color was Tang?
Trump colored.
Trump.
Stay woke.
Damn it! I wish I remember what I just was gonna say. Wow. The failings of a fucking stoner sometimes.
Yeah, you know.
Anyway.
Have I ever told you, Lou, how much I hate people who smoke marijuana every day?
I don't smoke weed every day.
Okay.
I just sing that
Just most
song.
days, but not every day.
I'm willing to pretend.
Well, no. I've gone years. I just started smoking weed again like 2 years ago after 10 years off.
Good job.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
I just started smoking weed and doing drugs because the world's coming to an end.
What's your favorite?
Yeah.
I would have unprotected sex if they opened up the bars again too.
Let's go right off the deep end. Let's go right off the deep end. So, I mean, as this supply chain breaks down, do you guys think that there's going to be a breakdown in the supply of heroin in the world?
No.
Oh, no. Because those are very different logistical networks, Sean.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, basically, the CIA is going to get their money one way or another, is what you're saying.
I mean, what do you think the southern border is, man? What do you think the nonsense of the southern border is?
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
I was
all those
there,
container ships
and
that are sitting off the Pacific coast,
they're just full of heroin.
Certain ships are getting, offloaded.
Yeah.
So
I made a joke the other day about moving to Mexico. I've been saying that to everybody. Want to move to Mexico when all this shit goes down, and everybody's like, "Why Mexico?" I'm like, they got a beach. They still know how to do farming, but I think the government is definitely scared of the criminals there, and I like that. I like that that energy more than the other way around in America.
There's something to be said about a narco state. I mean, when it was a proper narco state, it was relatively peaceful.
Yeah.
It's only when the narcos got big for their britches, and then the government says like, well, we're going to clamp down. Then the narcos are like, well, the fuck you are.
I know what Sean.
And next thing you know, everybody was armed up and
there.
shooting each other and blowing shit up.
I don't know. I got friends there. The thing is about
anything.
Look, power structures. Power structures. At some point, they're like, well, we control everything. What do you want to do tonight? I don't know. Let's go hack people's heads off at the bar for no reason at all. So, look, it's really not good. They're not good people.
No one's saying that the cartel's been bad people. But here's the deal. It's kind of like a war, right? There will be peace when one side is defeated, but there's so many factions. When the government was ultimately in control, i.e., they were the narco, they were the dons, they were the patrons. And these other little, what they called, oh God, what do they call them? They were basically guys. They were in control of sections of the country, and everyone just knew, hey, I got to send the money to Mexico City, but I'm gonna get my piece. Everything was fine. It's when ambition creeped in, is when motherfuckers started like.
Well, I mean, I remember having a conversation years ago with a guy who worked in the steel industry in Boston, and he talked about Whitey Bulger. And how he would put these buildings up, they'd do a steel erection downtown. And he just always paid his money to Whitey Bulger. And he never had to worry about getting paid. He didn't have to worry about the job getting robbed or anything else. But the reality is that Whitey Bulger was a psychotic motherfucker that just ran around killing people. And that's really what it takes. I mean, look, are we talking about gangsters still or politicians?
No,
that was gangster. I mean, Whitey Bulger's Whitey Bulger.
No. I'm saying, but I mean, we're talking. Are we?
That's all the same.
We're all talking about the same.
It's all the same. It's all the
Right.
same. I mean, libertarians will run around and go half retarded and act like, there's some sort of free market and everything's going to be different. No, power is power, and all political power comes out of the barrel of a gun.
Correct. Yeah, agreed.
So
Well, that's dark. Lou,
Well,
say something positive.
I think we just solved the world's problems. It sounds good. I had like a 3-hour conversation about the Gruden emails and all that shit, and it was exhausting, but it was interesting conversation to hear such different perspectives and just talking to people that are not in this realm of understanding. So when they see something like that, they're still taking it on a superficial level, and I'm like, this is part of a narrative. Like,
everybody needs to throw away their televisions.
They
That's
really
real.
do.
Yeah, like so black folks is mad about the fact that he talked about the Players Association's guy's lips. Look, the fact of the matter is, it's very convenient. He was that guy for the Players Association. I don't know the guy's name. We'll just call him
Morris Smith.
What is it? What does
Demore
he have?
Smith,
Like,
yeah, the
what?
guy with the lips, right? He was up for a vote, and he was probably going to lose. He was not going to be no longer be president of the Players Association because
Please
he's
tell
done
me
such a
that Gruden.
terrible
If
job.
I don't even know who this guy is, and I don't even give a crap about all this BS racism and everything else. But please tell me that Gruden, at some point, if he was making jokes about the guy, he called him Bubba.
No,
He didn't.
they
even
were
make
very
jokes about it.
benign. They were very benign.
What
jokes.
did he say?
He
What did
called them
say?
rubber lips, and
Rubber lips, yeah,
he
something
said,
like that.
rubber lips and that look like Michelin tires. And the only reason why he says that is because that's what he says to all the liars.
I don't know. Did dude's lips look like Michelin tires?
They is kind of big. They bigger than mine, so I can tell you that. But no,
The thing
I
is,
mean, Gruden's kind of a
someone said though
pencil-lipped
it wasn't
motherfucker,
that
right?
did him in.
no,
Because he
that's
could
not
have
what
just
made him in.
he could have just paid a fucking fine and apologized to the locker room and done whatever stuff like that.
He
But here's the deal.
coached another game after that email came out.
Look,
What's that?
is Gruden in a position of power over this guy?
That's what I told him. That's
No,
exactly. I was
not
like,
at
they don't.
all.
They're
Then
not.
what is it? It's somebody talking shit about the boss or something like that.
And here's the
Fuck
deal:
off.
he was talking shit about him while he was not a member of the NFL, hence not even interacting with players on a regular basis. He was working for ESPN. What got him mostly in trouble is the fact of the matter is he wasn't all about this Michael Sam's bullshit that came out a couple years ago. The gay player that came out of University of Missouri. So, but he was kind of talking shit to this guy from the Washington Redskins about the fact that he don't like the fact that Roger Goodell, who he has, who
Can I
no
say
one
this?
respects.
Hold on. Can I say this though? Because
Go ahead.
he called Goodell the best thing ever. He called
go
him
for it.
an anti-football pussy.
Right. I mean that's
No one
what some
respects
of them-
Goodell.
It's like I remember,
That is
with
so
this
good.
football, but it's like I think about Gary Bettman all the time, the commissioner of the NHL, and how he came over from the National Basketball Association. He came to the NHL and he tried to get rid of fighting. He's a fucking piece of shit, and I hope he fucking dies.
Boom, there you go. See, you have these people who take over these organizations, right? And they have no gonads against the spirit of the age that are trying to destroy the game. What the Goodell doesn't understand and what these idiots in the NFL front office don't understand is every fucking thing that they're kowtowing to is made to destroy that game. Period.
That's why it's anti-football.
Full stop.
No doubt about it.
And so, Gruden, I mean, yeah, I don't
It's
have
all
any,
about the
I don't,
wrong
I,
think.
but here's the
It's
deal.
all about the
Good work,
wrong
Gruden.
think. You guys are thinking wrong. I think you guys said it the other night. It should be hammered on again and again. But it's not enough to say you're sorry.
Mhm.
You have to mean it.
He's
Yeah.
being
You have to
removed.
mean it.
He's being removed from video
It's
games,
fucking
man.
stupid.
They're
Enough of
removing
this.
him from
Like this,
video games.
they're pushing everybody to just go right over the edge.
Yeah,
And
they're
I
hoping.
don't know what the solution is anymore. The thing is in life, you can
The
only
solution is
deal
to
with
not to keep-
only deal with somebody pushing you so much.
Yeah, you can
At
only
some
hope.
point, you got to punch them in the fucking mouth.
Boom.
Good night, everybody.
Oh,
It
buy
was
my
good
box.
to be back for a minute. Buy the box. Buy the box.